Nimepata, nishafika. Abductors. Abductors ndio hawa.
Ladies and gentlemen, those who are in the ground know what happened. And this time, allegedly, a car, Honda model, which was under the registration KCS, was seen trying to abduct somebody in the streets of, for example, Nairobi, Kenya. And residents came out very strong trying to oppose this move. As in the recent days, the netizens promised to deal with abductors. This time around, they have dealt with the abductors. The cry has been for long, and sources came out lately and leaked that indeed some of these operatives are from the government and they are trying to silence government critics. And they are not backing down yet, as even residents foiled another attempt in Nakuru, Kenya. However, here is a report by CNN on what is happening in Kenya.
It's a bit of a mystery in Kenya about who is abducting government critics who have been disappearing since these protests began in June. At least 82 people, according to the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights. And what seems to happen is as soon as somebody becomes critical of the government on social media or organizes a protest, they disappear. Some of them have come back and said they were tortured. They were chained to the floor, naked, and questioned about the source of the funding or just why they're being so vocal against the government of President William Ruto. He says that he will stop the abductions, but he also had a conditional part of that he will stop the abductions, but the young people of Kenya have to behave, they have to be polite, and they have to be disciplined, which people saw as a tacit endorsement, or at least an admission that his government has been abducting some critics. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, several more people have disappeared. Some of them young people in their 20s who posted AI-generated images of President William Ruto in a casket. One of them, a popular cartoonist who's been sharing satirical silhouettes of President William Ruto. They've all disappeared. Their families believe they were picked up, tracked on their phone, and picked up by Kenyan security forces. I want you to listen to one of the family members.
I am here as a parent. Please, I am begging. I have cried enough. I do not have strength. I feel like dying.
And so, a short while ago, a judge in Kenya has ordered the national police and the security agencies to unconditionally release the abducted people that are in their custody, even though the police have claimed they don't have them in their custody, and they're investigating why. Many in the country just don't believe them. The families don't believe them because they haven't made any attempts to investigate who exactly is snatching these critics off the road. And they've disappeared, some of them, for several months now, Becky.
It's good to have you, sir. Thank you very much indeed to Larry, who is today in Luanda in Angola. Right.
Baada ya madakika chumba yangu ikafunguliwa, ikamulikwa torch, yule askari akakuja akafungua pingu na akaanza kunipiga makofi, akaniambia mnaachiliwa na ile joto mmeleta Kenya ni joto kubwa sana, so tunaomba msijaribu kwenda kwa any media. kwenda kuelezea jinsi mahali mmekuwa na kudescribe ile tocha mmepitia, tutawarudia atuwaue. Na wakachukua sellotape wakanifunga round na wakafunga mikono zangu. So wakafungua mlango kama kuna ka corridor, akanisimamisha. Nikasikia akiambia Longton, ambia ndugu yako muone asiai jaribu kwenda kwa maandamano, wala asiaonekana frontliner.
When we were released, actually we were thrown somewhere near Gashie, the last point of Kitisiru. There's a river. From Kitisiru you are coming to somewhere close to Bishop's Road. There's an estate there. When we were thrown there, we were told to sit down. We were masked, but with sellotapes, and all our hands with sellotapes, so that we can just remove and proceed. So we handed back our phones and some 300 shillings for transport. So once they told us, kindly don't open the masks or the sellotapes until you hear the sound of the vehicle has gone. We actually did that. When we opened ourselves, our phones were 0%, so they could not light up, because I wanted to know where I was. We did not know where we were at that point, but we could see an estate some distance or along Bishop's Road. I told my brother, let's go to that estate. If you can get watchmans, we charge our phones. So once we reached that estate, we narrated our ordeal to the watchmen. And they told us, you guys, you've been in the media for the longest time. We charged our phones. I called my brother, Abdul Longton. They told him, now we've been thrown somewhere in Gashie. Come pick us. They started coming from Kitengela. And I also called some human rights bodies. Told them we've been released. They came to our rescue. They took us to a safe house. They took us for medical attention. So we stayed in Nairobi for about 3 weeks at their own cost, the human rights organizations. Then we were brought back to Kitengela. I lost 16 kgs within a month.